All right, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. It's Thursday, March 25th. For those of you who are at home, we're going to do lesson 24 today. Please get your highlighters ready. Everybody from school says, hey.
Hi.
All right. So, big day. We're going to work on solving some algebra equations. And so let's take a look at this first page. It's going to be a little bit different than everything else. So check this out. 4 plus 5 is greater than 9. Underline the 4 plus 5, please. And directly under that, what number should I put? Aiden? So if this becomes a 9, copy everything else down. Who can read what that says? Blake.
9.
Yep. Yep. Is it greater than or less than? What's that sign say, though? That says greater than. So this right here says 9 is greater than 9. So, Blake, is that true or false?
False.
It's false. How could you make it true, Blake? Oh, yeah, you could make it greater than or equal to. That would work.
You can put a line under the greater than sign.
Yep, that's what Blake just said. What else could you do?
You can make the greater than number get a different number.
Okay, what else could you do, Alexis?
Put the equal sign.
We could put the equal sign in there. Anything else we could do? Could I use this? Less than or equal to? Okay, all those changes would make that work. Let's look at the next one. 3 times 6 equals 18. So underline the 3 times 6 first. What is 3 times 6? Okay, we're going to put an 18 here. Copy everything else down. 18 equals 18. True or false?
True.
This one says 32 is greater than 64 divided by 4. So underline that because we got to go figure out what is 64 divided by 4. Use your calculator if you need to. I got one answer so far. I got 4 answers. 5, 6, 7. Okay, 10. Lene, what was it? 16. Copy down everything else. Lene, read to me. What does that say? True or false? Genius. The next one says 78 minus 15 is less than 68. So underline the 78 minus 15. We got to go find out what that equals. You got 4 answers. 5, 6, 7. Camden, what'd you get? So copy it down. 63 is less than 68. True or false?
True.
And let's do the last one here. 11 plus 12. What do I put under there? What does that turn into? Liam.
23.
Then copy down everything else. All right, Liam, read to me. What does that sentence say?
22 is greater than or equal to 23.
True or false?
False.
Okay, how could I fix it so that it would be true? Liam?
You could make it less than or equal to.
Yep. What other thing, Anna?
You can just put less than.
Yep. We can fix it both of those ways. Does that make sense? X this out. And when you're ready, turn the page. Okay, here it is. Algebra.
Yeah.
You guys, I think by the time we're done today, you're going to feel pretty confident about this. There are 6 problems, and the way that I want to show you how to solve them, we're going to have to use our space a certain way to make that work. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to go over on this half and draw a line down the middle. And if you're at home, you can get a clean sheet of paper and divide it into 2 parts. And at the top here on this side, you're going to write the first equation. Okay, so back in the day, we talked about a teeter-totter, and we said in order to keep it even, you had to have the same value on both sides of the seats. And if you add another person to one side, it's not even anymore. And the only way to even it back out is to add to the other side the same exact amount, or take away the same exact amount. So the rule about this is whatever you do to one side, you have to do to the other side exactly the same. So if you understand how a teeter-totter works, you can solve algebra. Here we go. I want to get r all by itself on this side of the equal sign, which means I have to get rid of plus 15. So who can tell me what's the opposite of plus 15? Alexis. And remember, if I do it to one side, I have to do it to both sides, right? So both sides of the equal sign. And draw a line under it. And now we're going to do our subtraction. So watch what happens. Plus 15 and minus 15. Put your finger on 0 on your number line, up on the table. Go to plus 15. Now go back 15. Where do you end up?
0. Back at 0.
They cancel each other out and become 0. Now, what's left all by itself on that side of the equal sign? Liam? On this side of the equal sign, what's left? Just r. So we got rid of that. Then you put the equal sign in, and now we go 25 minus 15. The answer would be 10. There's your first algebra equation. That's it. Yes, sir.
It could have been a lot less complicated and a lot more easier to solve if we just used subtraction, but I guess this is what
We did do subtraction. But here's the thing. You got to remember, Aiden, when you get into Algebra 1 and Algebra 2, these equations are like this long. So you have to learn how to do the steps because you're not just going to be able to look at it and go, yeah, I just got to subtract 15. Eventually, it's going to become too complicated to do it that way, so I just want to show you why it works. So when you have to do that, you know how to do it. Here's the second one. We're going to copy this down here. 6 minus d is greater than 0. Now, like Aiden said, you can already guess the answer is going to be 6. But I want to show you the steps, okay? So how do I get d by itself? I've got to get rid of this positive 6. The opposite of positive 6. Negative 6, both sides. These cancel out, and I have negative d is greater than negative 6. Now here's something tricky about this. The problem is we have the opposite of d is greater than the opposite of 6. So we want to get rid of those opposites. So if we take the opposites away, you end up with d is greater than 6. And for reasons that I'm not going to be able to explain today because it's a lesson several times later, whenever you switch those negative signs, it causes this to switch to go the other direction. So this is really going to be, d has to be less than 6. No, that's not right. If it was 5, yeah, it is. So this switch from here to here isn't going to make any sense right now, but we'll come back to that another time. Yes?
I think it's because d is bigger than 6 when it's in the negative.
Yes.
When you're closer to
Yes.
0.
Good job, Anna. That's awesome. Anna got it right away. All right, here's one more we're going to do on this side. It's 1/2 f equals 15. What about 1/2 f? What kind of math problem is that? Add, subtract, multiply, or divide. When a number sits next to a letter with no sign. Liam?
Divide because fractions are division.
What?
Divide because fractions are division.
Yes, if it was just 1/2 by itself. But what about 1/2 and f? What am I going to do with those? I'm going to multiply them. So here's how it gets. So think about this. What's the opposite of times by 1/2? Lene? Yeah, and this looks really crazy, but look what happens. Divide both sides by 1/2. Fractions are division problems, so you're going to divide by 1/2. Now, look at this. This is the craziest thing. I bet you guys didn't know this, but look, you can have fractions that look like that. What do you know about a fraction? Let me figure. What do you know about a fraction when the numerator and the denominator are the exact same number? Olivia? Not sure. What do you say, Brock?
Middle equals 0.
Nope. 3/3, 10/10, 5/5, they're all equal to what? 1. That fraction right there is equal to 1. So what I have is 1f, and now I have to do 15 divided by 1/2. So I'm going to go down and use this space because we're going to have to do 15 divided by 1/2. You guys remember how we did those? It's been a little while since we did dividing fractions. Tell me something you remember about dividing fractions. Anything you can remember. Aiden?
Definitely make the 15 a fraction.
Yes. And how do I make this look like a fraction, Aiden?
Put a line under it and then make a denominator 1.
Denominator 1. Now I've got two. I've got a numerator, denominator, numerator, denominator. So you're absolutely right. That's where we start. What else do you remember about it, Anna?
You changed the divide to a times, but then I'm not so sure if you switch the first one or the second.
Ah, so here's what I can tell you. This one stays the same. Bring it down. When you make this the opposite, and this answers Anna's question, which I think is really important. When you make this the opposite, you affect everything that happens after that change. That's how you remember. You always do the reciprocal of the second fraction. So once you change this, Anna, everything that comes after switches. So 15 times 2 is numerator times numerator, denominator times denominator. And what do you know about numbers if they have 1 for the denominator, Anna? It's a whole number. So the answer to this is 30. The next one is y divided by 3 is less than 10. That's question D over here. If I want to get y all by itself, how do I get rid of divide by 3? The opposite of divide by 3. Katie? Multiply both sides by 3. So times by 3, divide by 3, that cancels out. I have y left all by itself. And 10 times 3, Lene? Here's the next one. 7g is greater than or equal to 42. 7g, what kind of math problem is that, Brock? Add, subtract, multiply, or divide? It is. So what's the opposite of times by 7?
Divide by 7.
Divide by 7, both sides. Blake, you got to be writing stuff down. You can't play with your computer keys. 7g is greater than it. Okay, so 7/7, that's 1 whole, right? So I've got 1g left. So there's my g. And 42 divide by 7. Here's the last one we're going to do on this page. I want to get A all by itself, so I have to get rid of minus 8. Blake, what would I do to get rid of minus 8? Do the opposite. What's the opposite of minus 8? Plus 8 on both sides of that teeter-totter. So put your finger on 0 on the number line. Go to negative 8. Then go plus 8 back. Where do I end up?
0.
So these cancel out. I have A left by itself, less than or equal to 15 plus 8. Camden. Yep. So here's my question to you guys so far. Thumbs up, thumbs in the middle, or oh my gosh, my head just blew up. I think most of you are probably here if you're right on time. All right, perfect. Turn the page. This is the last part we're going to do together. And again, we're practicing. It's all the same. We're going to draw a line down the middle so we have space to solve everything. You guys are doing a great job. 25 equals D minus 10. If I want to get D all by itself, I have to get rid of minus 10. How do I do that, Anna?
Plus 10.
On both sides. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. (56) is greater than or equal to 2e. What kind of math problem is 2e, Catalin? So what's the opposite of times by 2? Both sides by 2. Well, there's 2 halves. That means 1 whole. That means 1e is what's left there. And you got a calculator if you need one. 56 divided by 2. Blake, you're not even attempting to figure it out. There's a calculator right next to your fingers. Do 56 divided by 2. What'd you get? 28. Good job. Okay, here's the next one. H divided by 5 is greater than or equal to 12. How do I get rid of divide by 5? What's the opposite of divide by 5, Brock? Times by 5, both sides.
You can't use this.
Okay. You could do this instead if that makes it better. Get your calculators running, guys. We'll let Blake get this one. What'd you get?
60.
Yep, exactly right, 60. Here we go. All right, Braden, this one's for you. If I want H by itself, how do I get rid of plus 29?
Do minus 29.
Both sides.
Yep.
Liam, you have this written down yet? Stay up with us. Leaves me with H by itself right there. Braden, what do we get?
35 minus 29
Mm-hmm. Guys, check and see what you think.
Negative 22. Or no,
Do we agree?
I did that wrong.
No.
Okay, not that. Let him try again. You guys let us know if you agree this time.
Okay, 16.
So what do you think? 16? Got it.
It didn't pick up the 5 when I put it in.
Gotcha. Four A is less than or equal to 16. How do I get rid of the 4? What's the opposite of times by 4
Divided by 4.
on both sides? So now I got 4/4, which just means 1. So I have 1A left there. What do you get for this one, Keegan? $16 divided by 4. You got it. Yep, exactly right. Last one together. 3x equals 24. 3x is what kind of math problem, Lene? Right, so what's the opposite of times by 3? Camden? Both sides. So there's my 3/3, which just means 1 whole. So there's 1x there. 24 divided by 3. Brock.
8.
Outstanding. Now give me another one. Thumbs up. Thumbs in the middle. Oh my gosh, my head blew up. Good, nobody's head blew up today. Makes me happy. Here's what you're going to do right now. You're going to tear off this last sheet. Put your name at the top. You're going to recycle this, Jazz. We're going to do 4 problems only. You have to show your work over here. So figure out how you want to use your space if you want to do something like that. That way you've got room for 4 problems. Those are the 4. They're due before you leave today. Good luck. Those of you that are doing this from home, please put this on a sheet of paper. When you turn it in, I don't just want answers in Cami from you guys. You're going to have to put it on a sheet of paper, take a picture, send it to me. See ya.